Eric and Eric here, Moski Homebrew with part 2 of the LUPOMAX, whatever.
Yakima Valley Hops LUPOMAX beer review.
So, yeah.
We brewed the New England IPA at Eric's house. We're at my house now. We're gonna review the beer.
Yep.
And give you our final thoughts on the LUPOMAX hops. So we brewed a New England IPA. Had Citra, Mosaic, Sabro. All LUPOMAX hops. Hey, Sabro.
Yep, all LUPOMAX hops, and this is the beer we brewed, so we're gonna try it. So this is a New England IPA we brewed with all LUPOMAX hops.
When did you bottle this? Today? Yesterday?
Today, before I left. Why? What's wrong with it?
No, it looks good.
So like the first thing I noticed that's different than some of the other New Englands we've done is this one has definitely out of the fermenter had a bigger aroma, like, you know, like just like a punch almost, you know?
And the mix of hops between the three was a little weird at first.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it.
But we wanted to go all LUPOMAX, and we figured we'd try all three and just throw them all into one.
Yeah, we just wanted to use every single one, and that's what we ended up doing. But I'm not a big fan of Sabro, especially in the recipe we used. But
yeah, I think Sabro is a very overpowering kind of melony punch.
Yeah,
and it can be used right. I've had a few beers where it's used or lightly, and it complements the other hops in it. But I've also personally brewed with Sabro and had a bad experience.
Yeah.
But as far as the aroma goes in this, it smells really good.
Yeah, it's very floral.
It's very punchy.
Yeah.
Floral's good, yeah. Almost like sweet.
Yeah. We don't review beer anymore, this is hard.
I know, we haven't reviewed beer in a while. Just like sweet fruit.
But it still turned out really good.
The flavor's really good.
I like it. I think it tastes pretty good. Other than the melon characteristic that Sabro gives, I just don't really care for it. Other than that,
it's really smooth. It's not bitter. Kind of like what you just expect from a New England IPA.
Yeah. I
get what you're saying. Like the mouth feels a little lacking a little bit. But I mean, it's still pretty freaking good. And I can definitely tell like the difference. There's definitely more of an aroma specific hop punch in this than some of our other typical New England IPAs that kind of just get muddled. And they kind of just mix together. This you can really smell. It's just more punchy, a little more strong.
So I would say that the one thing that stood out to me with using these hops versus just the regular pellet hops is that you got, like what you said, there's a lot more aroma.
And we've also done beers where we have done just a ton of hops. Like we've dumped tons of hops in beers and they have come out less aroma strong than this is.
Yeah, almost less hop forward too. Like, I feel like
flavor and aroma were worse or less.
I guess, and also, so a couple things during like fermentation, like after fermentation, dry hopping, I could definitely like first couple days I did a dry hop of 3 ounces of Mosaic. Definitely huge aroma, like, you know, big hop punch. As soon as I opened the fermenter to throw the dry hops in. The other thing I would say is if you're using these hops and you are pulling from whatever fermenter you're pulling it from, if you have the ability to, you should probably cold crash because these hops don't clump together or, you know, form a nice cake as like regular pellet hops would, where they kind of sink and have some weight to them. This kind of
suspension stays in suspension.
Stays in suspension in the beer a lot, and I wish I would have cold crashed. I can't tell the difference that I didn't. You know, like I don't think you could if I did, but I definitely noticed the first pour of my keg, like definitely had a good amount of hops. You know, once the keg sat in the kegerator for a while and cooled down, everything sort of settled to the bottom, and that first like pour was just like a big bunch of stuff coming
You
out
didn't
of
clog
there, so.
anything, did you?
Nope.
Because that's a big thing when we use regular hops, or when
So-
I typically use regular hops. I usually end up clogging my keg, so I cut my tube a little
So
bit.
I anticipated that there was going to be a bunch in the bottom because I saw what was coming out of it. So I still had my keg hooked up at like 20 psi, and I shot it out the bottom. Yeah.
But with them being kind of finer particles, like we were mentioning,
Yeah.
a little bit less likely to possibly clog your keg too.
Well, yeah, because you don't really have any of that hop matter. You don't have any of like the actual like, you know, I don't know, hop matter.
The chunks
really.
that get stuck in the ball post.
Yeah.
Or the
So that was one big, so that was one big thing I would say to you when you're using these is that maybe you should cold crash if you have that option.
Yeah.
You know, like if you have that ability. Other than that, I mean, it was still a really, you know,
really positive experience.
really positive experience, but I don't know if I'd necessarily use them as much in the boil or anything like that. I would more almost stick to using them in like a dry hop.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't know, in my experience, typically I don't usually use a whole lot in dry hopping. You know, like I don't throw a lot of dry
Did you have
hops
a
in there.
boil or bittering hop in this?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Which is kind of crazy because I can't even tell.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, so.
It's not bitter at all.
So I've been trying this new thing where I hop throughout instead of hopping right, you know, like not hopping at all.
Yeah.
I feel like it gives that beer just a little bit more like flavor. It's
Roundedness.
it's a little bit more complex. You know, like you got a little bit more hop flavors that
Good
play along
combination
with
between
each
a
other.
little bit of bitterness
Yeah.
and some flavor and aroma.
Yeah. So we had a 60-minute edition, and then we had a 15-minute edition, and we had a I think we had a boil out edition or a flame out. Yeah, there's flame out. I don't know. The
Don't remember.
description
We'll
will
have to look in the video.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, it'll be in there.
What we'll do is we'll throw it in the description, and we'll also throw a link to our website, which we'll also start posting some of our recipes moving forward. This one will be on there, and then a few of our other just good recipes that we've brewed in the past. Typically, when we used to do our like brewery beer reviews, we'd give them a score. In our homebrew beer reviews, where we are rating our own beer, we're going to do kind of an A, B, C, D, F, kind of grade ourselves
we're
on
gonna
what
grade.
the beer comes out to be. So
Yep. So what do you give this?
I don't know. I will tell you what I give you before you tell me what you give yourself.
Okay.
I'm still trying to think. I think I give it a solid B minus. B.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like a C plus. But like, I mean, I can go like B minus.
I mean,
whatever.
this is definitely a beer that would not sit long in one of my kegs. In my
Yeah,
keg.
mine's already half empty.
Yeah.
And it was full, like really full.
This is not anything that blows my mind per se.
No. It's basic
It's
like
kind
New
of,
England.
It
like,
tastes like a basic New England.
yeah. It's pretty simple, and there's not that much to it. But the LUPOMAX, I think, definitely helped a little bit in bringing out the aroma and the taste and
sure.
just the hop flavor. But it's okay. It's not the greatest.
And honestly, we were talking about this beer earlier or in advance of doing this, and before I had tried it, and you kind of scared me with the whole Sabro thing. I think it's pretty good. If I were to try this and you didn't tell me there was Sabro in it, I probably couldn't tell you
Yeah.
that there was actually Sabro in it.
There's just that one, there's a unique flavor that you get. And I got it in your beer when I tried yours. Even though we won't talk about that one.
Let's not talk about that one.
But I got the same kind of flavor, and I get the same kind of flavor in this.
A
Even
little
though it's not as pronounced.
Mine was pungent.
Yeah. We can say that.
All right. So that's our review on the Yakima Hop Moski Homebrew beer review
Yeah.
with Citra Mosaic Sabro. If you guys like this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more content.
Yep. Make sure to check out the LUPOMAX hops on Yakima Valley's website. We'll link in the description.
And as always, thank you Yakima Valley Hops for helping us out and sending us the samples of hops. We always appreciate that. And we'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.
Cheers, plastic cups during COVID.